Hi, my name is Mark. Thank you for, hello there. Thank you for participating in this usability test. I will be recording this session so that I can submit it to the UX Design Institute as part of my coursework. I will also include a short clip of our session in my own portfolio of work. So if I can ask you, do you give your consent for this session to be recorded and shared with the UX Design Institute?
I do indeed, yes.
And do you give your consent for me to include a short clip of the session in my portfolio?
Yes, of course, please, yeah.
That's great, thank you.
Cheers.
So I'd just like to say thanks for helping out today. This session today should run for around an hour or so, give or take 10 minutes, so it could be a bit less, probably won't be any more than that. So before we start, I'll explain the setup and how the session works. So I am currently enrolled on a course with the UX Design Institute, and as part of my course work, I'm carrying out an interview and a usability test. I'm responsible for conducting some customer research on the Aer Lingus and Eurowings websites. So I'm hoping to identify issues that could be fixed to make these websites easier to use. Today, I'm using your help to do that. And based on your feedback, I'll pinpoint areas that could be improved. Have you any questions about that?
No, Mark, that sounds straightforward enough, yeah.
Okay. So just about the environment, first we will do an interview where I will ask you about your experiences booking flights. After that, we will use two websites to run some tests together. I will ask you to carry out some tasks and I'll ask you some questions when you're doing the tasks. As you know, we are using Zoom to carry out this session remotely, and we will use the camera and microphone provided by Zoom, and the session will be recorded. Have you any questions so far?
No, so far so good, yeah.
Okay. So, as I said, let's start with the interview. So I'd like to ask you some simple background questions first, if that's okay.
Perfect, yeah.
What's your occupation?
I'm a psychotherapist.
And what city or county do you live in?
I live in County Dublin in Ireland.
Okay. And how, so just regarding the internet, like how do you like to access the internet? Like what devices do you like to use and where do you like to access the internet? Like at home or work or?
Yeah, I suppose there's a PC in work, I'd use that. Not so much because I'd be working, obviously. And then I have a MacBook, which I use at home. And then I also use my phone as well. I have a Samsung Android phone as well.
Okay. So would you say you use your phone most often when you're browsing or your laptop at home, or is it depending where you are?
It does depend where I am. Yeah, I probably kind of like for the kind of, if I'm just kind of looking at information, news stories and stuff like that, I'm probably using the phone. Whereas if I'm doing kind of work and that kind of research stuff, I'd be using my laptop. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have broadband at home?
I do, yeah.
Right. And how much time do you think you spend on the internet? Maybe daily or weekly, whatever's easier to think about.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, with the phone and that, I say so, like, you know, if I'm working, maybe I'd spend an hour a day. If I'm not working, it might be 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, which is a lot, but yeah.
Okay. And what do you spend your time doing? So, you know, some examples would be checking emails, social media, news, chat with friends, work related.
Yeah, so I like a kind of a go-to thing to do. I check, kind of check up on going to like Google and just check out the kind of Google news feed, and kind of that kind of throws me different articles on sports and different things I'd be interested in. And then also the odd time I'd probably once a day I might check the news feed in YouTube as well, and YouTube would kind of throw up a few videos and that.
Yeah.
I watch the videos rather than go into an actual video. I kind of watch them with the subtitles there on the little small screen, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a dysfunctional way to look at YouTube, but that's the way I do it. Yeah.
Okay. So as you mentioned YouTube, I just regarding your smartphone, what apps do you like to use on your smartphone? So you probably use the YouTube app. Are there any other apps that you like to use a lot?
Kind of sports apps. There's one. It's called Live Score. It gives me the football results, the scores and results. I'd use, like, I suppose kind of, if we're kind of talking about kind of like shopping and stuff like that, I'd use the booking.com website. You mentioned on the outset there about Aer Lingus. I've used the Aer Lingus app to book flights before. I've used the Ryanair app to book flights. Wizz Air, I have that app on my phone, just relating to flights. And then kind of, I suppose, other apps.
That's actually that's fine. That's
yeah.
That's very good. So, because I was going to ask you, did you ever use a flight booking app? And you've just told me that you do use them.
Yeah, I have.
So that's fine.
And the Skyscanner app as well actually is one I'd use, kind of maybe that'll be the kind of go if I'm looking for a flight somewhere. Skyscanner is usually it's kind of like the kind of, it's good comparison website kind of, or the app, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. So just regarding your travel website usage, do you usually travel for business or leisure?
Leisure all the time. Yeah.
Leisure all the time. And I suppose I'm going to ask you, how often do you kind of like to fly? Usually in a year. Now, obviously with COVID this year, it's not a good example. So maybe in 2019, did you fly very often then?
1, 2, maybe 4 flights, I think, in 2019. I think, yeah.
So were they return trips or 4 flights in total?
No, all return trips. So eight flights in total.
Yeah. So 4 trips.
Yeah, one trip to London from Dublin, then 2 trips Dublin to Liverpool, and 1 trip Dublin to Florence, and I'm actually after remember another trip Dublin to Lisbon as well.
Okay.
So it was 10 trips or 10 flights.
Yeah. Okay. And
it was a bit busy year.
Yeah. So you mentioned about your phone and having apps on your phone and stuff. So I suppose I was going to ask you, how do you book those flights? Did you use your phone, or did you prefer to use a desktop for that, or a bit of both?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both, but probably more the phone. Go onto Skyscanner. You go on, like if you go, let's say for like the flights to Lisbon, you kind of go onto Skyscanner, stick Lisbon in there, and maybe kind of Ryanair doesn't fly there and Aer Lingus does, or the other way around, or however, kind of, so you'd find out that way. And then you can kind of chat, like, I'm not a big fan of Ryanair, so it's like I avoid it if I can, and that's so kind of, I prefer to fly with Aer Lingus and that, and I'd use those the frequent flyer miles, is that what they're called as well? So I like to kind of gather up them, and that's
That's good. So you mentioned you like to go onto an aggregator site such as Skyscanner and check all the available flights. Will you go ahead and book with them directly, or will you go to the airline that you spotted as the best flight for you and go directly there and book? Where would you normally book?
If it's let's say if I'm flying somewhere where it's maybe kind of, what you would call it, like two flights to the, kind of, it's like a
stopover.
stopover, yeah, that's the word. If there's a stopover, it might be kind of one flight with Aer Lingus, then another flight with Ryanair to kind of finish it off, and then the same on the way back. So if it's like that, if it's like that, it's split with two companies. I'd probably just book it with Skyscanner. But if I saw like a flight in Skyscanner and it was just Aer Lingus, let's say, I'd probably go into Aer Lingus then and try and find the flight myself to compare it to see if Skyscanner really are doing me a deal, or and if it's the same price, I just book it direct with Aer Lingus so I can get those the Avios points. I think that's what they're called. So,
I see. Yes. So I suppose last question on that. Do you prefer to book through Skyscanner or another aggregator site, or do you prefer just to go straight to the airline if you have the choice?
If I have the choice, probably direct to the airline. Yeah.
Direct to the airline. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a quick chat about the last flight that that you booked. So I was going to ask you, where were you going to, and what was the reason for traveling?
So I was going from Dublin to Liverpool, and the reason was to go to a Liverpool match. Liverpool played Man United. So yeah.
Okay.
And that was
And
last January.
that was in January. And can you remember when it was that you made the decision that you were going to travel?
I think it was around November. I think somebody called me and said they had tickets for the match, and then it was kind of like, okay, great, get on, kind of organize all the other things, flights, hotel, etc., etc. So
Okay. And just regarding the flight, what was the most important thing for you when you were making that booking? Like, was it the dates, the times, the price, or a mixture of those things? Something else?
it was probably the times getting into Liverpool. I've done that journey a few times, so you don't want to be getting into, or like this, the 7 a.m. flight can be, you're kind of just stuck hanging around, waiting until 3 o'clock till you can book into a hotel, which can be a bit frustrating. You're just hanging around, and you might be tired because you've had to get up at 5 in the morning. Know, so. I think I got in around 10 o'clock, and thankfully the hotel they had a room ready, and I was able to go up, and I actually went back to bed.
Yeah. So even if you were happy to pay maybe more if it was a better time.
I would be. Yeah, I'd be happier, to pay more, but sometimes there's a huge difference. You're talking, might be €50 for a flight at 7 a.m. and then 150 for a flight at 2 p.m., which is I'd still go. I'd go for the 7 a.m. flight there.
Right. Okay. And before you made your booking, did you compare prices across airlines before you decided to go with?
No, I didn't because because it's only just a short little flight over to Liverpool. It's only it's 40 minutes, if that. I think.
Right.
It's a very short flight, and I'd kind of had a look on Skyscanner and seeing that that maybe the Ryanair flights were they weren't. I think they were overbooked or whatever. They were booked out, so I would have had to fly to Manchester, and I didn't really fancy that, the extra train journey from Manchester to Liverpool, and then the same on the return. So
okay. So did you book with Skyscanner or not?
No, I think I booked with Aer Lingus for that one, because it was just one flight over, the same back then.
Yeah. So you seen it on Skyscanner, and then you went to Aer Lingus and booked it there.
Yeah.
Okay. And were there many people traveling with you on that flight?
No, I was on my own. I did meet somebody else. They came on a later flight, but I was on my own over and back. Yeah.
Right. So you booked just for yourself. So you said there were other people traveling, but just not at the same time as you. So did you were you in contact with them?
It was kind of I knew they were on a later flight over, so I was kind of just hanging around on my own then for a couple of hours, and that it was kind of two groups of different people from the same they're from the same town as me, and
Yeah.
we met. There was a group. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and myself 6. There was 6 of us in the end that were over there. We all kind of knew each other, but we'd all kind of come from different parts of Ireland, and
Yeah.
even someone even came from London, I think.
Okay. And just with these people, did you share flight options or prices and dates and whatnot before you made your booking, or not?
No. We kind of done our own thing. There was only one of the party of the 6 who I kind of would have been close to, and I knew the day. I'd booked my flight, as I said, as soon as I found out about the match tickets.
Okay.
I'd book my flight, and I think the other person, they weren't sure money wise and stuff, so they left it quite late, and they ended up having to pay a lot more than I had to pay. So
Yeah.
But it was just the way it went for them, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. So some other times, if you were sharing information with people, if you're flying somewhere together, what would be your kind of favorite way or regular way of sharing information? Would it be emails or using an app? And what information would you share? Would you share screenshots or just send them a text, or?
Probably a WhatsApp message with the details.
Yeah.
I suppose other holidays and trips I've booked, I don't mind organising it, and I like to shop around to try and get a good deal, and also kind of arriving at a good time and stuff like that. Like, it's, when you're going to places, it's not great arriving at like 10 p.m. at night into the place that you're arriving.
Yeah.
It's kind of a waste of a day in a way,
Okay.
So yeah.
That's that. Okay. So that's good. So we're finished with the interview. So that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So you're welcome. Yeah.
So we're going to move on to doing our usability tests together. So before we do, I'd like to share some information before we start the tasks. So there are a few things to keep in mind that would help the tasks run smoothly. Firstly, this session is called the usability test, but it's important to know that you're not being tested. Rather, we are testing the websites that we will use. So there are no right or wrong answers. There are no trick questions. I'm not trying to catch you out in any way. If you do come across some issues, keep in mind that it's not your fault, it's the software's fault. Any problems that you come across will be helpful to the research that I'm carrying out. So you can't actually get anything wrong here.
Great.
Secondly, please be as candid and open as possible. If you don't like something or think it's silly or annoying, or it doesn't work for you, please say so. I haven't been involved in the design of any of the websites that we are testing together, so I certainly won't be taking any offense. If there are things you don't like, I will think about how these things could be improved later on. Thirdly, as you navigate around the website, whatever is going through your head, please verbalize it. So say what you're thinking and take your time. There's plenty of time to complete the tasks. So for example, if you're about to click on a button, you could say, I'm going to click here because I think it's going to take me to the next page, or I'm looking around the screen for the price. So just say what's going on. So yeah, take your time and think out loud. Doing things a little bit slower than you normally would gives us a chance to talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So there is no hurry at all. I may remind you to think out loud and go slow throughout the session. And finally, please feel free to ask any questions you like. It's a great way for me to understand your thoughts and your point of view. But in order to keep things as realistic as possible, I may not always be able to answer your questions, though I would be very happy to answer any questions you have at the end when we're finished doing the tasks. So thank you for understanding. And do you have any questions now before we begin?
No, yeah, sounds straightforward enough. Yeah. I'll try to narrate along as I'm thinking as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so I'm going to give you a task to do, but before I do that, if you can type in Aer Lingus, and we can just have the site kind of ready before we talk about the task.
Aer Lingus. That's it.
Okay.
There you go.
And you can click in on, I suppose, the second option there. So we can skip the ad and just click
So
on,
the ad.
or you
Yeah,
can, yeah,
I never really like going to the ad site.
no.
For some reason, I don't trust it, but yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So while that's loading, so I'll just say you might like to write this down. So for the purposes of this task, we'll assume the following. You live in Dublin and you want to book a nice spring break for yourself and your partner. You think Amsterdam would be a nice choice. You'd like to travel sometime at the beginning of April next year, and your first choice is to fly out on a Friday. But you know, you're flexible on that. You know, if not Friday, Saturday, or whatever. So again, I'll just say what I'd like you to do. Book a flight from Dublin to Amsterdam. Depart on a Friday, if possible, at the beginning of April 2021, and return 7 days later. So it's 7 nights for 2 people.
7 nights, yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So if you want to go ahead and
I'm going to accept these cookies here.
yeah. Okay. And
so please confirm your home country and preferred origin airport. So yeah, Ireland, Dublin, English. That looks good to me. So I'm looking here. So
before just before you click on anything, I'll just ask you just a few questions. So first of all, what options can you see there?
What options can I see there? I can see the checked bags for €5. I can see there's, you know, moving. I can see there's a COVID kind of banner thing there. Planning up the top in the top area could be plan and book, experience Aer Lingus, travel information. I wouldn't really normally be looking at that. I'd kind of be going straight down to the main part of the website. So I'm looking here at kind of return one way. This kind of information, these boxes here that I can stick in the stuff to find flights. That's
okay. Yeah. So you prefer to go down and just see about making the booking generally?
Yeah, kind of get to the meaty part of the website, I suppose. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like the checked bags thing, I wouldn't really be interested. You know, from €5. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So so again, don't click on anything just yet. But I'll just ask you, what would you expect to see if you clicked on manage trip, check-in, and flight status? So what information would you expect to see? But you don't need to click on them, but just what would you expect to see?
I suppose that managed trip, it'd maybe bring me up some sort of window. It'd ask for a flight reference number, maybe, and then, you know, then when you type that in, and it might take you to somewhere where it has the trip, whatever trip you've booked. Check in, that would be to check into a booking. Again, stick in your reference number, and then do that. That would be the process for checking in, and maybe like it might say who you're checking in on the trip, like me, or if I had a partner, or if I was going with somebody, or whatever, you know.
Okay.
Flight status. I never really used that kind of thing. I suppose it'd be kind of relevant now with COVID and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose that the flight status is kind of, again, stick in your reference and it'll tell you if the flight's going or not, I suppose, in the current environment or climate. Or, yeah.
Okay. And just underneath those, we can see we have multi-city and ad promo code. So just about the ad promo code, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's great when you do have a promo code for whatever website you're on, you know, because if it means kind of discounts and little things like that. So I'd expect, you know, if I was to click on that, if I did have some sort of promo code. That it'd just kind of tell me to enter it, and I'd hope then that'd be kind of stored in the website to say, like, you know, this like that I have that discount there or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And how about multi-city? What would you expect that to show?
Multi-city, yeah, I suppose that multi-city, if I was kind of with the stopovers or whatever, if I was going from Dublin to Amsterdam, and then I kind of maybe fancied a trip to Rome, maybe, and then to Madrid, and then back to Dublin. Maybe that I'd expect it to be kind of, you know, that you're not kind of, it's not kind of return flights like Dublin to Amsterdam, then back to Dublin, then to Rome, and then, you know, that kind of way. So
yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead and please start booking your flight. So again, you know, go slow and say what you're thinking. So what would you do first?
okay, so yeah, I'm looking to go on a return flight for 7 nights, Dublin to Amsterdam. So stick on here. I'll be hoping to get a so I'm hoping like Schiphol Airport, I think it's called.
Okay, and just before you type in your dates, I noticed when you clicked on for the outgoing flight, there was a link there for all airports, but you instead of clicking on that, you decided to click in your airport manually. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Is that a preference you have, or did that just happen automatically?
Yeah, no, I kind of I probably automatically. I just thought I knew the city I'm going to, so I thought that the browser would find it for me quicker than me having to go down through some drop down menu and look through.
Yeah.
You know.
So you were maybe saving yourself time?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you want to go down to maybe clicking on just choosing your dates.
To the date, so I'm looking to go early April, wasn't it? So come through here, clicking on the forward month date. So early April, and I think we said a Friday. So I noticed there the 2nd of April is a Friday. So I'm going to click in that for the time being, and then is this the departure? Is this the return date? I'm assuming that this box that I'm hovering over here is the return date.
Okay.
2nd of April, if I was gone for a week, so I would come back on the 9th. I'll click that there.
Okay, so just before we continue to the passenger, so I noticed with that menu, you had the option to type manually, but you decided to go with the drop-down calendar instead. Was there a reason for that, or did it just happen naturally, or is that how you usually like to enter your details?
Usually with websites with the dates, the date pops up in a nice kind of, it's nice and compact, and kind of you can see the whole month.
Yeah.
Nice, and it's nice. It's kind of clear and easy to navigate.
Yeah.
You know, when I was saying about the drop down menu with cities, sometimes you have to kind of scroll, and you're going to some. I know Amsterdam is alphabetically; it should be at the top of the list, but still, you know, sometimes you're scrolling and stuff.
Okay. And just with your return flight there, was it completely clear to you? Because it looked like you were going to go back up and type in the date manually, but then you went back to the calendar and you ended up using the calendar. Was that completely clear or not?
It was a little bit like I was like it didn't say maybe over it that return date for the second date box.
Yeah.
So that was a little. I was a little bit kind of where what am I putting in here? What date is this? Is this kind of maybe is this 2 departure dates they're looking for? Like, you know, a flexible thing. So it was a little bit confusing there, I'll be honest. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you'd like to go on and choose your passengers.
So I'd say maybe there's two of us going. I've no dependents. So just be me and my girlfriend. So I'll stick in 2 and apply group booking for. So I'm not doing a group booking. So apply.
Okay.
So now,
yeah.
now I'd expect just to go to search flights. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if you're happy with that, we can continue on.
Click search flights there. There we go.
So again, we won't click anything just yet. And, you know, you can kind of walk me through, you know, what do you see on the page, the messages, you know, what do they mean? Do they make sense?
Yeah, so it's like there's my options for the outbound flight. 1, 2, 3 to 4 of them, 4 different times of the day, and they all seem they're all the economy prices apart from the earlier one. Is €10 more expensive than the others, but yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. These
Okay.
they're not too expensive. Excuse me, not too expensive. So, yeah.
And is it possible to see other dates, you know, either side of the date you picked?
Yeah, up the top there. Yeah, in the top this bar here. I noticed that in all the prices. I know the way Aer Lingus do that, they'd have the prices and that.
Okay.
And I'm sure they've got so much availability now because of the time that it is. So I'd imagine maybe kind of pre-COVID, you might have had maybe the flight over on the Friday, Saturday might have been more expensive, and then you might have had the Thursday or Wednesday, Tuesday flights. It might get cheaper, kind of more into the working week.
Okay.
Weekend.
And if you wanted to see more dates there, would it be possible to see more dates?
Yeah, I can see just by hovering over. You can just kind of and then you can kind of click this.
Okay.
See, show flight availability for the next 7 days. So yeah.
Okay.
So.
And is there any information that you'd like to see that you don't see?
No, there's quite a lot of information there. I think it's kind of more. That's what I need. It gives me even the like. It's nice here to give you a little. It's an hour and 40 minutes to flight.
Okay.
You know, gives you arrival time, and even like the name of the what is the code, the airplane code and everything. So.
And how about the flight details link underneath the departure time? Is that you? What information do you think that would show? So
this one sort flights by departure.
So for each available flight, we have the outgoing time.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I think that's going to show me kind of that'll show me the kind of, you know, that'll show me like that EI 602, let's say, for this 610 one, and it'll show me the kind of, it's kind of but more of an expanded kind of that's a kind of compact version there, 610 to 850.
Okay.
Dublin. It might kind of get like, rather than saying Dublin, it'll probably say Dublin. Or,
yeah. Okay. So if you'd like to go ahead and make your selections, and you know, you can just say what you're doing.
So I'd probably I can imagine this. If my trip is kind of for spring break, so it's kind of for leisure purposes. So I wouldn't want to get up too early. So I'd say maybe I'd choose this 10:30 flight here. That would mean I'd have to go to Dublin Airport at 10:30, 9:30, at 8:30. So as I said, I'm going to click on that flight details thing there. So yeah, so it's giving me kind of what I thought there. It's kind of like just a more expanded version of but all the information was actually there to begin with, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd probably click on this flight here. So click on the economy, clicking on the economy.
And before we choose our baggages, if you'd also like to tell me about the options available there. So the information you can see, because there's 4 options. Maybe if you could maybe just say a few words. How do you find those options? Are they clear? Are they useful?
Yeah, but that kind of seems to be the way the air travel has gone in the last few years. They give you this real nice cheap option, but you can only kind of really bring on a rucksack and a jobby with you, and then, you know, that's where they get the real money out of you by charging you for a bag, you know.
Okay.
And then, like, you know, if you like, you know, priority boarding starts here with the plus thing. And there's no, like, there's no cancellation or refunds with that. So you kind of like the advantage thing. I'd never really book an advantage, certainly for a short break. I'd never really go advantage, and I'd never even heard of airspace. I don't know. Maybe does that take you into space? I don't know.
That would be
But
nice.
yeah, I don't know. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking at that.
Is the
Yeah.
information clear to you?
Yes, it's clear. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if you'd like to select a baggage option for your outgoing flight.
So, seeing as I'm going for a week, I probably would need a bag. So,
Okay.
go for this 96.99 one.
Yeah.
So
And now we have your return flight. So again, if you'd like to decide what flight you'd like to book.
And then I'd probably, depending on, I suppose, I wouldn't like to be, I really rarely I would get an early flight out of, home. So I'd, usually go for the latest option possible. 9:40 coming home is a bit late. So maybe you might be waiting around in Amsterdam an awful lot of time after you check out of your hotel at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or whatever. So, but so I'd say, yeah, I'd probably go for this 5:25 flight.
Okay.
73. Yeah, the difference there between 70, like, let's say if the 5:25 flight was 120 and the 9:40 one was 68, then I probably would go for the 68.
Okay.
And that's so, but yeah, so like, because this is, it's not much of a difference between 73 or 74 and 79, 69. So I booked the 73 one there, and again, I'll need a bag coming back. So
And just before you book that one, just underneath it says Avios and Air Club tire credits earned on all fares. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, like I'm in the Avios thing. I've been put, the Air Club or Avios or whatever they're called. I've been collecting the points.
Okay.
For the last year or two or whatever like that. I had flights to America.
Yeah.
In 2018, 4 flights to America. So that would have racked up a little bit, more than thing.
Okay, so those options are clear.
They're clear, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, if you'd like to go ahead and book your baggage.
So book this plus one again.
And if you're happy with that, we can. Just before we go on, can you tell me how much is the total cost so far of your flights? Can you? The information.
So yeah, it's 227.98.
Yeah, that's your total cost for both flights.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Still deciding. Pay 20 now and lock your fare for 24 hours. I don't know what that is. Price lock flights. Or maybe if I wanted to go and come back to it, maybe. But I don't know. I don't see why I'd pay €20 just to lock. So yeah, no, it seems straightforward. The amount is there. Oh look. Oh yeah, because I'm booking 2 flights, so just for 2 people. So it's actually this amount and this amount. So it's like 300, 400 and something.
Okay, great. In. So if you're ready to continue, that'd be we can move on to the final task for this test.
Great.
So what we want to do is book your seats. You're looking to book your seats. So we need to, so just here, you might need to enter some information. So you don't need to put in your real name. You can just put in, John Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Oh God, John Mitt.
John Mitt is fine.
We stick the S in there, make it.
Okay.
Okay. I did the Air Club thing. Oh yeah, there's the thing. And then My number, yeah, it's funny. My number isn't coming up there, so
Well, maybe, you don't need to share your number with us, so that's okay.
yeah. And then whatever, just an email address.
Yeah, so you can just put in, John. So we will need to enter the email. So, john@john.com would be fine. You don't need to put in your real details.
Okay. Tick this box if you prefer not to receive emails. Yeah, usually I would have ticked that box. And then a phone number, Ireland, yeah. And the area code
So
would
for the
be
area code, you can just put Dublin or yeah, anything you like. Dublin's a
086.
0 to be fine.
And then a local number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Add SMS. No, I wouldn't. I know I'm going on a flight, so I wouldn't need a text reminder for that.
Okay.
Then I put in Miss Mary Smith.
So you have to enter your details here before you choose your seats. Is that fine with you? Would you normally expect to choose your seat before you enter your details or after? Does it matter?
Yeah, I'd expect to have to put my information in at some stage.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that's straightforward enough. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to continue on and
like you always kind of see this stuff like Ryanair are even worse than Aer Lingus for like, do you want insurance? Do you want like more bags? Do you want to like book your golf clubs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I always find that quite frustrating.
Yeah.
You had like that, it's like just this money grabbing thing from these airlines, but that's the way it's gone. So I don't want that. So I don't know, do I have to click the box there? But I'm going to go ahead and click continue here.
Okay.
You're looking all right. So here we are. We're on.
So yeah, you can just basically just here you can say you can tell me what do you see, and what are you looking for.
So yeah, so it's always nice to sit up the front of the air thing because you can get on and off nice and quick.
Okay.
So I like look this row here too looks pretty good. I don't like sitting in the middle of the airplane. It just takes so long to get off and get on and that.
Yeah.
So the front or the back, you'd usually be kind of my choices. It's nice to have a view out the window as well and not be in the middle. Would
you like to go ahead and book your seats and we'll see how does that work?
I'm going to select this one for John Smith and this one for Mary.
Okay.
And then we're down here to, I suppose this is the flight back then. So
okay,
I'm going to click that, and then the flight back. I'm going to stick to the same side of the airplane, so I have a different view out the window.
Yeah.
I like looking out the window in the planes.
Okay.
And yeah. So there is that's. I was just checking the price there. The same. So I noticed I have to pay for the. Did I have to? Yeah, I did have to pay both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So, actually, yeah.
It's fine. You're happy for this trip. You're happy to pay for them. Okay. So we're done now. That was test 1. So we're done there. So before we move on to the final test, I just have a couple of quick questions just about that. So overall, how did you find the experience?
Yeah, it was pretty quick and pretty straightforward enough. Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything you particularly liked or disliked about the process?
I suppose like the way, like when you're booking flights and that, the way the price can just ramp up really quickly. It's just a little bit kind of like, initially, if you saw it the way I thought the two flights were 227, but it was actually 400. It's like, it's a little bit of a shocker to the system.
Right, because it was for two people rather than one. Maybe that wasn't clear.
Yeah. Maybe I went, that was the kind of, because like, this is a kind of test or whatever, that was, maybe it was a little bit, that, but, I probably would expect it to be more expensive, obviously, if there's two people going, but yeah.
So maybe they can make that clearer. And was there anything you expected to see but you didn't see?
I expected to see the bags thing earlier. We're only kind of getting to that stage now. See with the bags and the golf club.
Yeah.
But was there anything else I expected to see? Yeah, no, not really. No, that was seemed kind of the usual.
Okay. And was there anything you were surprised to see?
Yeah, well, like, look, yeah. So I haven't been on an airplane website in whatever, like, since last year. So it's kind of a year since I've been on looking at flights and stuff like that. So it was good to see them the price quite low. I thought maybe they might even be lower, to be
right.
Now that I'm thinking about it. They might, I'm sure the Ryanair flights are all €20 now. Some of them maybe even cheaper, because the way things are. So yeah.
Okay. So that's that one done. So if you would like to go back up into your browser and type in eurowings.com.
Eurowings. Okay, so yeah, I'm presuming it's this one here, so I'm going to click that one.
Okay. So before we start, again, I'm going to give you some information. So for the purpose of this task, we'll assume the following. You live in London and you want to book a getaway for the new year for you and your partner. You think Paris could be the place for you. So you'd like to travel sometime in January, at the beginning of January would be good, but obviously with COVID and stuff, you're flexible. Your first choice to fly out would be on a Sunday, but again, you're flexible. And you want to go for a week. So I'll just say that again. So what I would like you to do is book a flight from London. So London, any airport. So all airports in London is fine. To Paris. Leave on a Sunday at the beginning of January and return 7 days later or thereabouts, whatever is available, and make the booking for 2 passengers. So before we do that, if you can just tell me, so don't click on anything yet, and you can just tell me, what do you see there?
A couple of nice pictures. Nice kind of beachy picture there, kind of. It takes you back. That's a nice picture there. I'm kind of interested. I'm wondering where that is. Is that picture there Dusseldorf? And then, like, I see this Corona travel forms thing, that with all the pluses and that's a little bit tacky.
Okay.
In my eyes, this kind of,
and just underneath that, we have some options there. We have flights, hotel, and check-in. So do they make sense to you? Well, so don't click on them, but what do they mean?
Yeah, so I suppose like flights is for booking flights. So I'm presuming the hotel means that this website Eurowings also deals with hotels or deals with hotel bookings, and then check-in would be for searching up a reservation you already have, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Check into it. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and maybe choose your airports, your departure and destination airports. So how would you do that?
Okay, so I'm in Dublin, so I'm just going to type in Dub, and there up she comes there. Yeah, Dublin.
So remember, for this task, we're flying from London.
Over London, oh yeah, okay.
So,
sorry.
That's so fine. London. Any air, so all airports in London is fine.
So stick in London, and then the A to Z is coming up here. Oh, all airports, so you get it there, yeah.
And we're going to Paris.
Charles de Gaulle, yeah.
Okay.
And
And
then we're
yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead there.
oh yeah, so it's coming up the dates then. So you said January. I'm thinking of going.
Okay.
So early
So
January. So I'm just looking at it here. It looks like it's only these purple dates that you can go on.
yeah.
Yeah. And we said Sunday. So this is the only Sunday in the whole month
Okay.
of January you can go. So I suppose I'm going to pick on that one because that's the date I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then I'm going for a week, so I'm not going to come back the next day. So it looks like I'm going to have to stay for 8 days.
Right.
Um, so I booked the 11th. I'm coming back on the 11th.
Right. Okay.
And then
So just
yeah,
before you book your passengers, so how did you find the day calendar there? Was it useful? Did you find it easy to understand? Was it clear?
yeah, but it's kind of a little bit clearer than the Aer Lingus one, if I'm
Okay.
honest.
Right.
And as well, I see the way it's taken me onto this passenger thing itself, and I didn't have to kind of go clicking for that. So that's a little bit more straightforward.
Okay.
Um,
So the
it was
first,
limited. I
yeah,
will say that, like considering no one's booking any flights, there was
yeah,
a limited selection of flights. So
yeah.
that would lead me to think, oh, I'll go on to Skyscanner and check if someone else is flying those dates, so
Okay.
I can get the Sunday to Sunday that I'm looking for, not a Sunday to Monday,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
because that's an extra night. That'd be an extra. First thing I'd be thinking that that's an extra night in the hotel,
Yeah.
which I hadn't planned for, and maybe an extra day off work I have to book or whatever.
Okay. So, yeah. So if you'd like to choose your passengers,
So again, there's two of us. And I don't know what this is too. So there's loads of stuff here. I presume it's a bit cluttered there. It's after disappearing. Oh, here we go again, yeah. So yeah, so I suppose search flight then.
okay.
We'll click on that.
Yeah. Okay. So when this page loads, we won't click anything just yet. And oh well, you can click on that. The cookies.
Click on that, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so just tell me what do you see on the page here? What information is coming up? Does it make sense? Is it useful?
Yeah, it seems there's two flights that day. I see the one stop. I don't know, does that mean that there's a stopover on the way, that it's not direct? I'm not too sure, maybe.
Okay.
It's,
Well,
that's a
is there any way to find out more information about that?
click on this little eye here. So London Heathrow to Hamburg. So yes, there is a stopover. So that's I didn't.
So
I wanted.
for the purpose of this task, it's okay for a stopover.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So 8:50 to 3:30, and then 3:40 to 8:15. Okay, yeah. That's quite a long. A lot of days travel, or a
Okay.
lot of days flying just to go
Yeah.
from Dublin or London to Paris.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's straightforward enough. A little bit confusing to be, if I'm honest. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on this website page.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have
Because you
extra
have
dates to choose from if you want to?
extra leads. Yeah, there is this. Yeah, it's up in this top bar.
Right.
It's fairly clear. Yeah.
Okay. So there's two flights there. So, which one do you think you're going to go for?
Um, sorry. Yeah, look, I was getting a bit. That was a bit confusing there. So this flight isn't available.
Right.
Um, so yeah, actually, yeah, that was quite confusing. I was thinking that the top flight here, the one that's leaving at 8:50. I was thinking that gets in at 8:50 p.m. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's 3:30 p.m. So yeah, so I was quite thrown by that there
Right. Okay.
with the one stop. So
Yeah.
so it looks like the first one's not available. So it looks my only option is to go for the second one,
Right.
the afternoon flight. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna click on that there.
Okay.
Quite expensive, 323.
So just with we have some fair options here. So again, do they make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Although it says that neither of them are also not available. I don't know if that's
Okay.
due to COVID or whatever.
Right.
Oh, no, I can only go this biz class one.
Okay.
Looks like.
Okay, so you have one option, so that's fine. If you only have one option, we can choose that option because with the COVID and stuff, you know, things are a bit different.
Yeah.
And all right, so now how about your return? Yeah.
The return flight, only 4 seats left, 93. So they're pretty much, you know, they're quite similar times and stuff like that. There's 45 minutes in the difference or whatever. So
yeah.
I'm going to grab that one with 4 seats left.
Okay.
I noticed there's the cheaper option straight away here. So
okay.
I'm just going to I'd be just comparing the biz class with the smart now to see if I have. So yeah,
if you wanted more information about those booking fare options, is there any way to find out more information?
There's the little eye thing up here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose if I've gone out with biz class, I have to come back with it because, you know, I might have a 32 kg bag.
Yeah.
And this one only allows for a 23 kg bag. So
yeah.
So I suppose I'm stuck with this 323.99 fare.
Right.
But I guess I'm a businessman, so I can pay for it. So I think that's it. Yeah, it's quite a cluttered website. I've never seen this before, so it's kind of it's a lot going on. Maybe that doesn't.
Can you see how much is your total price?
So the total price is a lot clearer than Aer Lingus.
Okay.
1,295.96. Yeah.
And just before you continue, you can see on the left-hand side of the footer it says, "From £4, save your price." Does that make sense?
So yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of save your. So for £4, save your price for a day or two or whatever it is. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, if you're happy with your choices, yeah, you can continue.
Yep.
So we're going to our final task is to, again, we want to book our seats. So we'll just have to go through the site until we get that option. So what are you seeing there?
Okay. More services. What charges apply? New rules for UK arrivals. Excuse me, so that's maybe COVID stuff. Hand luggage. Book an additional small bag priority. So that's included anyway because I'm on this business trip, business pass thing.
Yeah.
I have my bag included.
Okay.
They're grayed out there, so that's all kind of like included. If I wanted to add another item of luggage, I could easy enough. Here, I can see that. And that's kind of repeated for the return flight. Then special baggage for me golf clubs, and that's it. There's a nice thing that I don't have to look at the golf club stuff.
Okay, that's useful.
Seat reservation, outgoing flight. So yeah, I can select my seat.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you if you'd like to,
I can check in. So it looks like I can actually go away and come back and do the seat at another stage.
Right.
Maybe
well, for this task, we want to book the seats now.
Okay, so we're outgoing flight. So select now, yeah.
Okay. Right. So again, if you can just tell me, you know, what do you see? Did the messages make sense? You know, what the information that's there?
Yeah, so I picked premium seats, so it's sticking me at the front of the airplane.
Okay.
In the nice fancy seats that I like.
Yeah.
Which for that price I would expect, to be honest. So I'm gonna pick the front row here. Hopefully there'll be loads of leg room for myself and Mary.
Okay.
So I have the 2 seats selected. I'm gonna save those.
Yeah.
The following restrictions apply. Children, so we've no children and we've no dogs. Nobody's pregnant. Nobody has any disabilities. People who are less mobile due to body size. All right. People who speak neither German. Well, we both speak English, and yes, we should be okay. So yes, I've, I can't, I'm just going to click yes here. I've read most of that, and it all seems straightforward.
Okay.
And I'm going to confirm those seats.
All right.
And then this is the Dusseldorf to Paris. So this is the connecting flight on that out one. So I'm going to click these the same 2 seats again.
But are you finding the information clear?
Yeah, it seems straightforward. Yeah. Let's save that. This is the same again. Seems like there's a little bit of lag on the site, maybe. Or...
Yeah.
So this is Paris to Hamburg. So this is the return flight now. So stick with the same seats the whole way.
Just with the lag, is that something that might make you think about booking elsewhere, or is that a big problem? Or
to be honest, the prices quoted here in the premium. I don't usually fly premium either.
Yeah. So the options.
I would have been gone. If I was booking, I would have been gone already. For this
Right.
size, to be honest.
Okay. So would you say the prices would be the main factor that would?
Yeah, the price. That's way too much to spend on a flight for just a weekend breakaway over to Paris. I could drive there in my car for half that price or a quarter of that price, maybe.
Yeah.
And even the same, yeah. Confirm that. I think I have to do this again for Hamburg. Well, this should be it now.
Okay, so if you're happy with your seat selections, we can continue on to the next step.
So, airport check-in and enjoy these benefits. Boarding pass, airport information. Yeah, that looks okay. So,
all right. So that's the 2 tests and all the tasks finished. Just before we go, I just have a couple of questions. So overall, what did you think of that experience?
Yeah, Aer Lingus, I've done it before. It was straightforward enough.
So just regarding Eurowings specifically, how was your experience with Eurowings?
Eurowings, yeah, it was a little bit kind of laggy, the website. There was a lot going on the page that wasn't too appealing for me. The prices weren't great. I appreciate that it's in the middle of the COVID thing, so maybe they're only doing kind of the premium bookings so they can socially distance on airplanes and that. So yeah, the price was ridiculous, but I suppose if that was the only flight that was going to the place, that's probably what I might be forced to choose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was okay. It was a little bit like, it wasn't a fully enjoyable thing. I can't see with a website like that I would be Eurowings regular flyer, kind of frequent flyer kind of thing.
Right. So just regarding that, like what did you particularly, or was there anything that you liked, or what did you dislike? What was the things you disliked the most, or was there anything like that? So regarding kind of the software itself, using the software, was there anything particular that you didn't enjoy?
Well, I suppose it's new to me with the Eurowings website, so that's kind of like I'm kind of looking at scanning everything on the page. I put I probably would have read everything on the page in detail, kind of to see what's going on here. But like,
Yeah.
there is an awful lot on the page. I've booked flights before and misread stuff,
Yeah.
and and like, like, let's say I'm booking a flight for the 3rd of January 2021. I've booked it that it ends up being the 3rd of February kind of thing, and I've gotten the dates wrong because there's so much going on the page. So
Right.
that'd be a concern.
Yeah.
That'd be like, I'd be checking and rechecking because there's so much information on the page
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Okay.
hadn't changed. So
Yeah. So just the last couple of ones. Was there something that you expected to see but you didn't see, and was there anything that you were surprised to see?
um, no, it seemed like, look, yeah, it was it was it was what it was. It was like, I was expecting maybe some more low kind of economy class options, and there was none. It was all premium stuff.
Yeah.
So and that, but like, there was some things about the website which were okay, but it was kind of like, yeah, it was like, I don't know, I don't know, I hadn't heard of Eurowing, so I don't know, is it an economy flyer
Yeah.
thing website, or is it like a more kind of business class? I don't know. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, we are done. So thank you very much for your input today. It's been a huge help to my research. Uh,
great, and best of luck with your research as well.
yes. Okay. So thank you. Hope to see you next time.
Thank you, Mark. Cheers.